Hey, what's up guys? NFL Nate back again with another video. Today, we're gonna be reviewing week 2 and doing some power rankings. Week 2 is a great week, but also tons of injuries. So let's get right into it. At number 1, we have the Baltimore Ravens. They showed that they are probably the best team in the league, showing that they have a running game, Lamar Jackson throwing for more touchdowns, Mark Ingram having a great game, and their defense showing up. Marcus Peters' interception and a lot of sacks on Deshaun Watson, and it's pretty clear that the Ravens are one of the best teams in the league, if not number 1. At number 2, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson had an amazing game again. He's looking like an MVP, and their defense clutched up at the end, stopping Cam Newton and just having a great game. And I think the Seahawks can go far this year. At number 3, we have the Green Bay Packers. The Packers putting up 40 points again this week, but instead of it being mostly Aaron Rodgers, it was from Aaron Jones, who had 3 total touchdowns and over 160 yards on the ground. He had an amazing game and just showing that the Packers offense can do it many different ways. At number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs moved down a little bit. They still won, they still got the job done, and they're still a great team, but just a little scare at the end from the Chargers putting up a fight. But in the end, Patrick Mahomes clutched up, and Harrison Butker has established himself as one of the best kickers in the league. At number 5, we have the Tennessee Titans. Came close with them and the Jags, but they got the deal done. And Ryan Tannehill having a great game, and them just looking good. At number 6, we have the Arizona Cardinals. It just seems weird to see them up here because last year they weren't that good, but the Kyler Murray hype is all living up. He's living up to all of it, just having a great game. And people said the Washington Redskins pass rush could stop them, but Kyler Murray wasn't fazed and just had a great game. At number 7, another NFC West team, the LA Rams, just destroyed the Eagles, as a nice way to put it. Jared Goff's having a great game, and them just playing very well. Next, we got the New Orleans Saints, who had a disappointing loss on Monday Night Football against the Raiders. Got off to a good start, but just couldn't keep it up. And Drew Brees just didn't look like himself, and their defense couldn't stop the Raiders. That's disappointing. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills. They also squeaked out a win against the Miami Dolphins, and they're looking pretty good as well. Josh Allen having a great game, and I think they might be able to finally dismantle the Patriots this year. At number 10, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're looking really good, just coming off a win against the Broncos where James Conner had a great game and their defense had a great game with the safety, and they're just looking like a top-tier team. At number 11, a disappointing Sunday for the 49ers. Though they got the dub, they just beat the Jets, which was obvious that they were going to do that. But they had many injuries, including Garoppolo, Nick Bosa, Raheem Mostert, and Solomon Thomas, which is going to take a big toll on their team. Hopefully they can recover and have a good season. At number 12, we have the New England Patriots. They don't move down at all, even with a loss, because Cam Newton played very well, throwing for almost 400 yards, a lot of that to Julian Edelman. And their defense had a pick 6. Just great play, but they're playing the Seahawks, and they're only 1 yard away, so props to them for that. It's hard to beat the Seahawks in their home field. At number 13, the Cowboys with a big comeback at the end. The onside kick and finishing field goal, just so good from them. Dak Prescott throwing for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Dallas offense looks very good. At number 14, we have the Buccaneers. They had a good game against the Panthers. Tom Brady looking good. Leonard Fournette with a good rushing touchdown. And their defense playing pretty well, so the Bucs look pretty good. At number 15, we have the Las Vegas Raiders with the upset against the Saints. They are looking very good. Derek Carr and Darren Waller just connected and had a great game. Their offense was just clicking in all cylinders and a great way to open up their stadium. At number 16, we have the Colts. The Colts, after a tough loss against the Jags, bounce back and just totally dominate the Vikings. Philip Rivers having a good game, and their defense coming up with 3 interceptions, so a very good game from the Colts. At number 17, the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert finds out a few seconds before the game that he's going to start. An amazing game from him from his rookie debut. He rushed for 1, he threw for 1, almost 400 yards passing. Over 300 yards passing, and just he showed that he should be the starter, and I just hope that the Chargers keep Herbert as the starter. At number 18, we have the Chicago Bears. They took care of business against the New York Giants. Mitch Trubisky having a decent game. The Bears, I don't think they're the best team, but they're 2-0, so they got the win. At number 19, the Cleveland Browns put up 35 points against the Bengals. Yes, it's the Bengals, but you could see their offense just clicking. Baker Mayfield having a good game, connecting with Odell Beckham, and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt rushed for over 200 yards and a lot of touchdowns, and they just had a great game on offense. At number 20, the Jacksonville Jaguars put up a fight against the Tennessee Titans, one of the best teams. Gardner Minshew obviously trying to prove that he should be the starter, and him trying to do good stuff. And the Jags, they move up because they're proving that they can actually be a contender somewhat. At number 21, the Washington football team, they didn't play such a good game, but they're moving up because a lot of other teams did not play so well. At number 22, the Denver Broncos, another loss, which was kind of disappointing. Drew Lock got injured, and Courtland Sutton. So just disappointing for the Broncos. I think they can still have a good season. It's just going to be hard to pick up after this. At number 23, the Houston Texans also coming off a loss. They had a tough boat facing the Chiefs and then the Ravens. And I don't know, it's just going to be hard for them to bounce back from this. They don't look too bad. Their pass rush got to Lamar Jackson a lot of times, so it's not all negatives. At number 24, the Atlanta Falcons. Just a really disappointing loss for the Falcons. They blew a huge lead. Even with Todd Gurley, they just couldn't run the ball. Their special teams didn't really, I don't know if they didn't know the rules or whatever, but they just didn't play that well. I think they just need to go and get a good week of practice in because they're just not looking too good. At number 25, the Philadelphia Eagles. After they got beat by the Washington football team, they kind of just got destroyed against the Rams, just not even putting up too much of a fight, just letting them go down the field. Their defense has many issues, and I think the Philadelphia Eagles really need to turn it around this week. At number 26, the Vikings. Probably the most disappointing of them all. The Vikings just don't look good at all. People thought they had high hopes for them, but they're just not looking good. Kirk Cousins threw 3 picks. The running game wasn't there too much, and it was just not a good game for the Vikings. At number 27, the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions started off good against the Packers, but the 2 errands hit them, and they just couldn't handle it. And it's just going to be tough for the Lions this year. I think they can come back and have a good year. Just tough 0-2 start. At number 28, the Carolina Panthers. It doesn't really matter that they lost. The biggest loss that they had was Christian McCaffrey, pretty much their whole offense. And that's just going to be so brutal for them because he has so much yards for them and just so much production. And without him, it's going to be very rough for the Panthers to do well. At number 29, the Miami Dolphins. They put up a good fight against the Buffalo Bills. But they played pretty well. At one point they had a lead, but they just couldn't hold it against the Bills. But I think Miami has some good things to come for them. At number 30, Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals on Thursday night. Joe Burrow had 60 passing attempts, but I don't know. The Bengals just let the Browns run all over them, and it was very questionable. There's so many questions on their defense, and so, yeah, Joe Burrow looks good though. At number 31, New York Giants moved down a spot. And Saquon Barkley's out for the year, so it's all up to Daniel Jones. And I think it's just going to be not a good year without Saquon Barkley for the Giants. At number 32, the New York Jets, who just got destroyed by the 49ers. I don't see what the Jets have on offense. Obviously, their offensive line is not good at all. Le'Veon Bell's not that much of a help, and they just have no weapons on offense. And Sam Darnold's helpless without any wide receivers, and their defense gave up a 3rd and 31 on a toss play, so I don't see how it can get much worse for the Jets, but yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe.